when the mind itself sees that thought is the creator of illusions, then you have an insight into the whole nature of illusions. It is that insight that's going to dissolve all illusions. One sees one has caught in an illusion, an ideal. How do you see this phenomenon? Is it a reasoned out conclusion, a clarity of verbal explanation? Is it that you are being skillfully persuaded, or you yourself see this fact? Now, we're asking, how do you see it? Do you see it merely as visual perception, the facts in the world? And therefore, from visual perception, reading books, newspapers, magazines, discussing, you have come to the realization that ideals are rubbish. That is merely an intellectual process, and therefore it is merely you are living in a concept, and therefore non-fact. However, logically, sanely, rationally, you may observe it and then say, well, I'll drop it. But the dropping of it is not actual, because you have other illusions around the corner. But whereas we are saying, please listen to this, if you observe without any remembrance in your observation, I must make this clear, otherwise you will think I'm crazy. We are talking over together the question of seeing. Whether you have come to the conclusion where illusions are nonsensical and therefore you won't be involved in them. Or do you have an insight to the whole movement of illusion? You understand my question? One can take one kind of illusion, belief, investigate it, go into it, and say, well, it's finished. And you that investigate your ideals, and so on, so on, so on. That doesn't really free you, does it? Investigate them. Does it really free you when you have rationally, logically, sanely investigate into the various forms of illusions? Which means, how do you investigate? You investigate through thought, right? Thought has created these illusions, and with thought you are examining these illusions, which again is a trick you are playing. So thought can again create other illusions. You say, well, I won't have these illusions. But thought has not understood the very nature of illusion and the creator of illusions. Now, if you see, thought itself is the creator of illusions. You're following all this? Then when the mind itself sees that thought is the creator of illusions, then you have an insight into the whole nature of illusions. It is that insight that's going to dissolve all illusions. Should we discuss or go into the question of insight? So insight is not intuition. Intuition may be a refined form of desire. Don't accept what the speaker is saying, investigate it. Intuition or apprehension may be the unconscious projection which is taken as something extraordinary real. Right? So we are saying insight is not related to any form of desire. I want to understand. I must go into this. The motive behind this, desire wanting to comprehend. Right? Desire saying, this, I must find this out. So this is, if you want to go into it very carefully, insight is not the activity of desire. Insight is not the projection of past experience. Insight is not a remembered action. That is, I'm going to show you something. That is, when you see that all religious organizations instantly, not logically, step by step, which you can do afterwards, if you see that all religious organizations are based upon thought and therefore have nothing whatsoever to do with actual the sacredness of religion, you have an insight into it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, is your action the action of insight with regard to illusion? You understand my question? Or you are still analyzing it? You are still mentally active in exploration. Or you see instantly the nature of illusion and finished. You're following the difference? One is determination, choice, a subtle form of conclusion, and action. So, action takes an interval. There is time interval. We are saying in insight, there is immediate perception and action, in which there is no regret, no turning back. It is so. Have you got this? Don't, sir, this is, if you want to go into this, one has to be very careful not to deceive yourself. Because our minds are so quick in their capacity to deceive. I can say, yes, I've got insight into this. And out of that insight you act. And then you find, I wish I hadn't done that. Regrets, you follow, all the sequence follow. But insight is something entirely different. There is no time interval between insight and action. They are both together. Now, after explaining all this, which is a verbal form of communication, Have you listened so carefully that you see instantly the whole structure of illusion? That is wisdom. Right, sir? May we go? Cinque minuti ancora. So when we sit together like this, very quietly and silently, listening, is the silence contrived, or you are so concerned not to solve your own personal problems, which will inevitably finish when you have understood the act of listening, the act of observation. The act of listening is in that there is no desire, just you listen. But if you listen to Mozart, and I said, "Oh, what a lovely, I had a lovely evening the other day, listening to that music, and I want to play it again," you have lost something. And if you listen so completely, then the thing itself is like a seed dropped into the earth. It flourishes. You don't have to do a thing about it. In the same way, if you observe closely, that is, in which there is only observation, not the observer saying, "I will observe."